Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to completely disassemble and repair a gearbox. We'll be going through the entire process step by step, from removing the gearbox from the vehicle to replacing worn parts and putting everything back together. I'll be covering things like identifying common problems, using the right tools, and ensuring proper reassembly. So if you're ready to learn how to tackle this challenging but rewarding repair, stick around. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving deep into the world of LADA VAZ gearboxes. Specifically, we'll be covering the removal, installation, and complete disassembly and repair of these gearboxes. Get ready, because this is going to be a detailed walkthrough. First things first, getting started. Before you even think about touching your gearbox, you need the right tools. We are talking socket sets, wrenches, possibly a gearbox jack, and definitely a good set of jack stands. Safety first, people. Make sure your car is securely supported before you even begin to loosen a single bolt. We don't want any accidents, and a properly supported vehicle is crucial for this kind of work. Also, gather your replacement parts beforehand. Nothing's worse than getting halfway through the job and realizing you're missing a crucial component. Trust me on this one. Now, let's talk about the disassembly process. This is where things get a little intricate. We'll be systematically removing each component, one by one, carefully documenting each step with clear visuals. Remember to take plenty of pictures or videos as you go, so you know exactly how everything goes back together. This is especially important for the various shifters, bearings, and internal components. Each part has its specific place, and getting it wrong can lead to serious problems. We'll be focusing on the LADA 2110 gearbox in this section, showing you exactly how to take it apart piece by piece. Pay close attention to the order of removal, and remember to keep all the parts organized. Use labeled containers to keep similar parts together. This will make reassembly much easier. Next up, installing the gearbox. Once you've thoroughly cleaned and inspected all the components, it's time to put everything back together. This process is essentially the reverse of disassembly, but it's still crucial to pay attention to detail. Make sure everything is aligned correctly, and use the appropriate torque specifications for all the bolts. Over-tightening can damage components, while under-tightening can lead to leaks or failures. We'll be showing you exactly how to install the gearbox back into the vehicle, ensuring a smooth and secure fit. We'll also cover the proper alignment and securing of the gearbox to the engine. Now, let's address the removal and installation process itself. This is a physically demanding task, requiring patience and precision. We'll show you the proper techniques for disconnecting the driveshaft, clutch, and other related components. Remember, this is not a job for the faint of heart. It requires a good understanding of automotive mechanics and the proper tools. We'll cover the safe and efficient removal of the gearbox from the vehicle, and then the equally important process of reinstalling it. We'll be covering the specifics for both the VAZ 2109 and the 2110 models, highlighting any key differences. Finally, we'll go through step-by-step instructions. This section will be a detailed breakdown of every single step involved, from initial preparation to final reassembly. We'll be using clear, concise language and plenty of visual aids to guide you through the entire process. We'll cover everything from disconnecting the linkage to torquing the bolts to the final test drive. Remember, safety is paramount throughout this entire process. If you're unsure about any step, don't hesitate to consult a qualified mechanic. This is a complex repair, and it's always better to be safe than sorry. And that's it for today's video. Remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving deep into the world of LADA VAZ cars, specifically tackling the gearbox. We are going to cover everything you need to know about removing and installing this crucial component. Let's get started. What will you need? First off, you'll need a comprehensive set of tools. This isn't a job for a basic socket set, we are talking specialized tools here. You'll absolutely need a transmission jack. This is non-negotiable for safely handling the gearbox. Think about a good quality torque wrench for precise tightening, various sizes of sockets and wrenches, a selection of screwdrivers. both Phillips and flathead, and don't forget a good set of pry bars. You'll also need plenty of rags or shop towels to keep things clean, and possibly some penetrating oil to loosen stubborn bolts. A repair manual specific to your LADA VAZ model is also essential. It will provide detailed diagrams and torque specifications. And finally, a safe and well-lit workspace is absolutely critical for this kind of work. Safety first, people. Preparing for repair. Before we even touch the car, we need to make sure we are prepared. This means having all the necessary tools laid out and readily accessible. Make sure your workspace is clean and organized. You'll want to disconnect the battery's negative terminal. This is a vital safety precaution to prevent accidental shorts. Raise the vehicle securely using jack stands. Never work under a car supported only by a jack. And finally, take plenty of pictures or videos as you disassemble things. This will be invaluable when it comes time to reassemble everything. Trust me on this one. Procedure of work on removing the transmission. Now, let's get into the actual removal process. This will vary slightly depending on the specific LADA VAZ model, so always refer to your repair manual. Generally, you'll start by disconnecting the driveshafts. This often involves removing cotter pins, nuts, and possibly some clamps. Next, you'll need to disconnect the linkage and any electrical connectors associated with the gearbox. Then, you'll carefully detach the transmission mountings. This might involve removing bolts and possibly some rubber bushings. Remember to support the transmission with the transmission jack at all times to prevent it from falling and causing damage. Once all the connections are loose, you can carefully lower the transmission using the jack. Take your time and be methodical. Rushing this step can lead to serious problems. Removing the transmission. With the transmission disconnected from everything else, you can now carefully remove it from the vehicle. Again, the transmission jack is your best friend here. Guide the transmission out slowly and steadily, paying attention to any potential obstructions. Once it's clear of the engine bay, you can carefully set it aside in a safe place. Now, you have the gearbox out and ready for inspection and repair. Troubleshooting. Once the gearbox is out, it's time for a thorough inspection. Look for any obvious signs of damage, such as cracks, leaks, or broken parts. Check the condition of the seals and gaskets. Examine the gears themselves for wear and tear. Pay close attention to the bearings. Listen for any unusual noises or play. A thorough visual inspection is the first step in diagnosing any problems. Faults and their elimination. Common gearbox problems in LADA VAZ cars can include worn gears, damaged bearings, leaking seals, and faulty shift linkages. Depending on the specific fault, the repair might involve replacing individual components, such as gears or bearings, or it might require a complete overhaul of the gearbox. Remember, this is where your repair manual comes in handy. It will provide detailed instructions on how to diagnose and fix specific problems. If you're not comfortable performing these repairs yourself, it's always best to seek the help of a qualified mechanic. Safety and proper repair are paramount.